Today I've been thinking about postures. I have some of my own issues with posture that I need to continually monitor and correct. I was thinking about the posture that we come to an experience like this course with. Right now in our culture, there is such a huge division of thought, of feeling, families against families, persons against persons, groups against groups, political parties against political parties. And it's really a posture of duality. Either this is right or this is right. And of course, something has to be wrong. Two things can't be right at the same time. It's either right or wrong. And so that posture is like this. We see our president doing this a lot. When anyone asks him a question that is threatening, he often does this. So that's one posture in our culture, and it's not helpful. Because more than 1 or 10 things can be true at the same time. So there's the posture of paradox, where we don't have the arms folded, we haven't made up our minds, and we sort of look at two things that can actually seem very different or even opposite, but they're true at the same time. I've discovered in my work and in my life experience that the more I become the person I want to become, the more comfortable I become with the new story of myself as a resident of the divine, a more than human being with a higher divine self who's not just made up of my ego. The more comfortable I become with that person, the more comfortable I become with paradox. That, many things can be true at the same time. And so that posture is not necessarily one of openness, but just being present. We just sit. We sit with the confusion. We sit with, sometimes paradox can feel like it's tearing us apart. And we just sit with it. We be present with it. It's a posture of presence. We listen. We're open. It's a mystery, and we open ourselves to the mystery of something we can't readily solve. And then, as we move along on our journey, as we open our hearts, we may find ourselves really opening our posture without fear of destruction, without fear of being criticized, without fear of being wrong. And we just open. Now, usually we want to do this with allies. We want to do this with friends, trusted others. And we can always go back to the posture of paradox. And if we need to, we can even go back to the posture of completely closing down. But we don't do it from a place of duality. We do it from a place of boundaries and protecting ourselves. So what's really important on this spiritual journey, this psycho-spiritual journey, is the embodiment of what we're learning. That we make the word flesh, I guess you would say in Christian terms, we make it part of us. Not right or wrong, both and. Both and wins the day. And then at some point, we feel comfortable enough, safe enough to open wide to what is.